Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you a really cool PTT telephone. This is a Holland telephone, and Ron sent this in from Florida. Now he's got a note here. It says, I guess he's saying the phone bell does not ring. The handset spring cord has an open near the earpiece. And so basically what he's talking about is the handset cord is frayed here and has an open on it. And this is the initial checkout of this telephone, and it's a really cool telephone. But I'm going to show you something that's a little different with this telephone, and I don't mean the earth button here, which was kind of their version over there for kind of like a flash button, or took you into Never Never Land onto another call or some situation like that. I believe they were called earth buttons, but you know, depending on what we do with these telephones, sometimes we make them different things. If we have a hybrid board into it or something like that. But generally when we're just redoing these telephones, we don't really make that button anything, we just leave it alone. But I'm going to show you something a little different with this telephone, and this is the initial checkout. This telephone's in pretty good condition for its age, and we're going to go through everything and make sure it's all working. And he's got another part of the note that says phone can be used to call out or answer, and I'm assuming he means he wants the phone to work. I'm not sure, you know, that you could take the note either way, like he's had it hooked up before or whatever. But this telephone does not have any kind of a plug on it. It has the old situation where it was hardwired into some type of a jack or something, because this is this end you would normally see on the inside of the telephone, but I'm seeing it on the outside of the phone here. So it's just the initial checkout, and we're going to go from there. Here's another piece I want to show you, and this is something that we took out of the telephone, and we're just looking over the telephone. And basically what this is this is a sweep for a lock that would sweep against two contacts and either open the contacts or close them, depending on how it was, you know, swept through the contacts on the lock. And what I want to show you about this phone is there's a lock on this side of the telephone, and I can only assume, and I've never seen this before, you know, and I think I would have noticed it as many as I've worked on. This lock here must be for locking the telephone up so you can't use it, is what I would assume it would be. But it seems to be the first one I've ever seen or noticed like that. So this kind of gives you a look at the telephone itself, and I'm going to show you the inside. And I kind of want to go to this lock area first, because basically what we have here is we have a lock, and the problem with the lock is the paper that seems to probably explain this lock is glued to the side of the phone. Okay, so I can't really look at that and see what that's all about. But I got this little piece here. It came from underneath this yellow tape, because what they have is the connections all taped up and taped to the back of the phone. So the lock was not being utilized. It wasn't even hooked up, but it must have been an option. Now there is a schematic here to the telephone, and that's on this side. So there's your schematic, and then on the back side is all your taped up wires that go to this lock. And that's pretty cool. I do believe it's the first one I've ever seen. I wish I could get this piece of paper off, and because they've got it trapped underneath the lock, so you basically have to take the lock off and then try to peel the informational card or whatever information's in that on that piece of paper explaining what that lock is, and maybe somebody will write in and explain it too. Maybe they've seen this before. But out of all the ones that I've worked on, PTTs, I've never seen that before. And if I did, I just didn't pay attention. But anyway, this shows you that their rotary cover is still on. It seems like the rotary is turning freely, but we'll have to go through that and check it and make sure everything's racking off properly. And so that gives you somewhat of a look at this telephone. These are very cool telephones, and I want to give you a look at the inside of it and give you the, kind of an ideal of the condition of the telephone. And this is what I meant on the back of the line cord. That's basically how their cords were, you know, that's how they would hold them in. That was their connection block, or the way they held their cords in. And so basically on the other end of the line cord, what they have is one of these little rubber pieces that kind of lock into something. So that must have been maybe straight from one of their jacks that they had wired in the foreign situation that they had it connected to. So somebody, obviously, the phone ended up here in America somehow, and maybe someone brought it back with them, and they just yanked it kind of out of the jack, because all we have now to the phone is the other end. Now we're going to try to save their original line cord. If it's in good shape, I want to try to utilize it because it's original to the phone. What I'm really interested in is finding out a little more about this lock situation, and maybe taking the lock apart and trying to key it. And of course that's more of an experimental thing. We just have to see what we got and how it all works out. But that would be pretty cool to be able to utilize that lock. Although we don't have a key, maybe one could be made for it. But we'll talk to Ron, we'll see what he says, and we'll kind of go from there. It probably wouldn't be at no charge to Ron. We just, more of an experimental thing to just kind of go into the lock and experiment with it and see what we can do. But we will talk to Ron about it and go from there. Other than that, we're going to get this telephone in working condition for Ron. And it's really a beautiful telephone. These PTTs are just really great telephones. And I can't really see into the number plate very well at this point. It is the initial checkout, and I haven't really looked at it, but it looks like there might be a number there of some sort, but we'll just have to check it out. And obviously, since it was a foreign telephone, it's probably a number from a foreign country. So basically, this gives you a look at the telephone. It's really a nice telephone, and we're going to start working on this one here as soon as we can, and we'll contact Ron on it. Just thought you'd like to get a look at it and the initial checkout before repair. We'll probably try to do another video on this, since that lock has kind of got me interested, and I'd like to know a little more about it. But I'm sure it's a situation where it was probably sitting somewhere in the public, and you know, they could turn the phone off or on so it could be used. But this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. This is the initial checkout of Ron's telephone, his PTT from Florida. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.